when the flash hit you. You could see the x-rays of your hands through your closed eyes. To say it was frightening is an understatement. We were basically used guinea pigs. There's no other word for it.
The threat of nuclear war hasn't been this high since the Cold War.
We will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea.
To better understand this existential danger, I want to speak to soldiers who've experienced atomic bomb explosions up close. While everyone knows about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, few are aware that an additional 2,000 atomic bombs were detonated after World War II and tested on hundreds of thousands of young soldiers to prepare them for nuclear war. Most nuclear tests were performed by the United States and Russia, but 20,000 British soldiers were also involved. These missions were secret, and up until recently, the veterans weren't allowed to discuss them. Only a few of these men are still alive today. I've been invited to a reunion of atomic veterans in a village near Bristol. The veterans have traveled from all over the country to share their experiences. I wonder if they're more concerned about the threat of nuclear war than my generation is, as they have experienced the power of these weapons firsthand.
And it's 167. 167.
When I arrive, the room is full of old men playing bingo.
Hello, I'm Wester. I'm Wes. Wes.
It's hard to imagine that they have seen atomic bombs detonate.
He's a bit deaf.
Right, so I'll speak up.
My name is Peter Barnard. I served in the area for 5 years in the Pacific for the weapons testing.
My name is Douglas Hearn. When I was 21 years old, I was sent to Christmas Island and witnessed 5 nuclear detonations. That was the defining point in my life that governed what my life was going to be like from the moment I saw the first one, stood in front of it.
My name is David. At the age of 18, they sent me to the nuclear test site. It was utter devastation.
Didn't know anything about it when we went. We didn't know what we were going to do when we went, only to be told that we would be testing bombs.
We were told nothing. We knew nothing. We were told very little about the day, except don't look at the flash.
Can you describe the day that the nuclear bomb was dropped?
And just before the sun comes up, we were marshalled in groups.
I went out on the aircraft carrier, the Warrior, and we was told to face the stern of the ship, the back of the ship.
We were told to cover our eyes with our hands or bury your eyes into the crook of your arm, which we did.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
To say it was frightening is an understatement. I think it shocked us all into silence. When the flash hit you, you could see the x-rays of your hands through your closed eyes.
It was just sheer brilliant light. So I've never seen anything like it, never had done.
In the process of hands over your eyes, you saw every bone in your hand.
If I was looking at you now, I would see all your bones. You would see all the blood vessels and everything, the bones a lot.
Then the heat hit you, and that was just as if somebody my size had actually caught fire, then walked through me. It was an experience that was absolutely unearthing. It was so strange.
Some of the lads would stand up, but about 30 odd seconds later, you'd get the blast, and the blast would knock you flying.
And there were guys with bruises and broken limbs. We couldn't believe it.
After a while, we were told that we could now stand and look up and watch the mushroom form.
You caught sight of the side of it at 90 degrees. It was that huge. It wasn't there, it wasn't there, it was there. It was practically above you.
All they saw was this rising fireball, a colossal fireball just going up, and thunder, lightning, you name it.
What I noticed most was the clouds moving away like that, you know, round and round and round.
I think it was too much for some of them, and some of them would cry and ask for their mum. That was awful.
There was no comprehension that anything like that could even exist. It was immense.
It's a sight to see, but never want to see it again.
Over a 10-year test period, there were 22,500 personnel. In 2013, we estimated that 18,500 of us had died. And the reports that I'd seen, nobody had died practically of natural causes. They all died of leukemias and cancers and carcinomas of one sort or the other.
Does this correspond to what radiation does to a human body?
The thing is, guys couldn't have children. People's children suffer from numerous ailments and things that come out, twisted bones.
How did it affect you and your children?
I married when I got back to the UK, and my first daughter was born in 1960. And sadly, by the time she was 11, she developed a problem which completely changed her appearance. She grew a hump on her back. She started to grow hair all over her body. We had to shave her twice a day. She sadly passed away in my arms.
My youngest daughter, I think, is the worst. She's had everything wrong. Everything, and it's still going wrong. She lost all her teeth, same as I did. I lost all my teeth. Within a short space of time, they all went black.
I had cancer on my face that came up here. You can't see the scar. It's only a little pimple, but it was cancer. And it was also on my back. And the other thing which devastated me, took me a long time to recover from this. And I will never forgive the authorities for putting me in this situation. I couldn't have children.
How do younger people respond to what you experienced?
First of all, we were not allowed to talk about it. And it was a good number of years before we were even allowed to talk about our experience. We were never allowed to talk about our duties out there.
Did you, after this happened, speak about it with your mates?
No.
Family? No?
No.
So I don't want anybody to know what we done and how we done it.
The veterans say they were sworn to secrecy and couldn't talk about it until the late 90s. Not even with their families. If they did, it would amount to treason and they'd face a prison sentence.
We had no compassion from anybody. We had no help from anybody. And we still have very little. And for a government to do that to its own people is absolutely disgraceful. It's outrageous.
Does it feel good to now be able to talk about it?
Well, it helps, doesn't it? To get over it.
You're still getting over it?
Yeah.
What would you say to our generation? How should we go about this nuclear threat?
Our generation doesn't know, don't they? They don't know what's happening. My wife sometimes says to the hospital, he's been under 2 bombs. And they think, who's that silly old fool? You know, what's he romancing about his being a bomb testing site? They have no idea. They have no idea about anything.
I think young people ought to be educated to the events that took place in those 10 years.
The onus is now on the young people who are coming to take our place to get rid of these weapons. You know, because you are the people who have got to deal with it. And the younger generations that come behind you, with the rights of education, they will do that.
Hearing about the suffering nuclear weapons have caused the veterans and their families, and how they were manipulated and lied to by their government, makes me wonder if we're naive to think today's leaders will act more responsibly. The veterans say it's up to the younger generations now. But will they take action, and can leaders be influenced?